So, this past fall and spring migration of 2025, I decided to do a little experiment and try something new. I was getting really frustrated not being able to figure out which days I should go out birding and which days I shouldn't even bother to go out and just, stay in bed or not take a break from work and go walking or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to play around and ask ChatGPT to help me figure out what days would be good birding days. And initially, I wasn't sure how accurate it would be. So I tested it out and I started in spring. I'm not going to lie though, it was pretty accurate. During spring and fall migration, I normally go out walking every single day and sometimes twice a day, because I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss anything. If it's a fallout day or something like that, I want to make sure I'm out there. But before we go any further, let me be really clear about something. There's some things that ChatGPT cannot tell you. Like, for example, it cannot yet tell you what birds specifically were seen that day. So it can't pull like live data from eBird sightings and tell you like rare bird reports or anything like that. And it can't, of course, guarantee fallout and say, oh yeah, today was a big fallout or whatever. But it can predict with pretty good accuracy what the likelihood is. It's actually really helpful to help you interpret conditions in relation to migration, fallout, migration patterns, instead of just guessing and still getting confused and, thinking, oh, well, today was supposed to be a good day, but then you go out and it's crickets. There's no birds singing. There's nothing. Or you didn't go out that day because it wasn't supposed to be a good day. And then everybody's talking about how many birds there were, so it's tough. It's tough to plan migration around things. But that's where most birders struggle. I always had a hard time understanding when the really advanced birders in the WhatsApp chat seem to effortlessly just understand the weather conditions, and they'd always be like, oh yeah, the westerly winds are coming from the north and the west, and the birds are gonna land because whatever, or there's a cold front coming and they're going to be over here. And, it's like they just always knew. They always understood it. And it would just always confuse me. And I'm like, wait, the wind's coming from the east. Does that mean that? And, and then you try to ask questions and then it just never seems to get the same answer. So let's get specific on the prompts and how you can really use this to your advantage. And sometimes you don't have someone to consult. Not everybody's in a WhatsApp chat with super advanced birders. Most of us are still trying to just figure this out on our own. So here's what ChatGPT can help you with when it comes to birding days. It can analyze weather patterns in relation to bird migration, explain how wind direction affects migration, help you understand cold fronts that could predict fallout that day or make it a good or bad birding day, put timing, geography, and seasonality together all in one place. So you don't have to go to like 10 different websites and try to correlate all the information and figure it out to predict birds landing overnight or whether they kept flying over. So all in all, it can really help you decide whether today is going to be a good birding day or not. Is it worth going out and trying? Or should I probably just pass? Is it not that serious? So it just kind of gives you that one clear answer based on all these factors, which helps you think more like an experienced birder faster and helps advise you to decide what your best days will be. And this can be especially helpful when you're traveling to a destination to go birding. I think I used this when I was at Fort DeSoto to find out what to expect in that area because it's totally different than my area. But instead of asking vague questions like, will today be a good day for birding? You need to ask better, more specific questions. So here's a couple of prompts, and I'm also going to provide some additional prompts in the description that you can use to get you started in giving this a try. So one prompt that you can ask ChatGPT is based on overnight weather patterns, wind direction, and recent migration activity in my area. How likely is it that migratory birds will stop over this morning or landed last night, depending, of course, what time of day you're asking? That immediately shifts the answer away from hype towards probability. Then you can narrow it down even further. Let's say there's a cold front involved. You could ask, since northerly winds are coming through after this cold front, how will this cold front typically affect migrating songbirds along coastal areas like the Florida Keys tonight? Or if you're asking in the morning, you can say last night. Another prompt that I'll ask sometimes in the morning is based on Birdcast, Windy, the Weather Channel, and Nextrad Radar, etc., whatever you want to, input in there, to predict what kind of birding day it will be this morning. And then boom, it gives you a prediction based on factors that you gave it. It's basically like your assistant, You have to look at it that way. Don't be afraid of AI if you've never used it before. And you can also ask it to remember the settings every single day to give you a prediction every morning at, say, 6:30 a.m. to alert you each day. I actually tried this as well, and it prompted me every morning, and it said, and it would say, based on overnight conditions, birds likely kept flying over because of favorable wind conditions, or birds likely landed in your local patch, or, whatever it may be. And I know you're probably thinking like, oh, but you can use Birdcast. Yeah, you can use Birdcast, but in some places, like where I'm at, Birdcast is not always super helpful. Monroe County consists of the Upper Keys, the Lower Keys, and the lower half of the Everglades and Southwest Florida, which is like a completely different flyway. So what you'll get in the Everglades on the western lower half of the state versus what you'll get in the Lower Keys versus what you'll get in the Upper Keys is completely different. So Birdcast is always confusing for me because there's times where it'll say like, oh, look, 700,000 birds passed last night, but I'll go outside and it's crickets. There's nothing, So this is much more specified, and this is why I really liked using this because it was very specific. I even tested it from Key Largo to Marathon, which was also very different. It did not give me the exact same information because birds are coming from a different direction in Marathon than they are in Key Largo. I'm telling you, because it's a different flyway. So this next piece of the puzzle is honestly one of my favorite parts. You can tailor this to exactly what birds you want to see. So let's say I'm focused that day on warblers. So I'll ask it, hey, given these conditions overnight or, tomorrow, whatever you're looking for next week, what are the chances warblers landed last night? And when would warblers be most active tomorrow morning or this morning or whatever? And what habitat should I focus on, right? And this can be wherever you are specifically. You can tell it where you are. I can say, I'm in Key Largo and I want to know where to find warblers in Key Largo. Well, I personally know where to find warblers in Key Largo, but I could even ask it a specific kind of warbler, like, hey, I really want to see a Wilson's warbler. What kind of habitat in Key Largo could I find a Wilson's warbler? Even though I've never seen a Wilson's warbler in Key Largo. But, let's say that. It would tell me where. It would tell me exactly where I should look for it, what time of day is best based on that time of year, right? And then let's say I'm planning to see raptors that day. I can ask it, based on tomorrow's winds and weather, would raptor movement be more likely early, later in the day, or minimal? And what direction will they be coming from? So for example, like where I live, are they coming from Bayside or are they coming from Atlantic side? This is really important because if they're coming from Atlantic side, I'm going to see them exactly where I'm at. But if they're coming off the ocean from the Bayside, from Flamingo in the Everglades, and they pass directly over Curry Hammock, they're going to skip right over Key Largo and I'm not even going to see any raptors at all. So this is very important depending where you live. Because like I said, not all counties are created equally. Some cover very large areas that are completely different depending on what part of the state you're in. Yeah, so this can be really helpful to really narrow it down. And then let's say you really want to see shorebirds. You could ask ChatGPT, would these conditions favor shorebirds activity, and how would the tides factor in, and what time of day is low tide today where I'm at? Because obviously we all know that the best time of day to see shorebirds is low tide, right? And if you didn't know that, now you know. So it's basically like having your own extremely specialized birding assistant in your pocket, at reach, any time of day, all day long, at night, whatever, early in the morning, whenever you go. And this can be especially helpful when you're traveling, like I said, trying to figure out birds in that area or what's going on with wind direction over there, or whether or not it'll be a good birding day that week if you're visiting somewhere. Like, hey, what's going to be the best day this week, probably. But again, like I said, since every area is extremely specific, inland versus coastline, it's all going to be very, very different versus just a general, oh, well, these birds are probably over here, these are probably over there. It really gives you a lot more information to work with. Now, this part is just as important. Here's what ChatGPT cannot do. It cannot confirm what birds actually showed up last night for sure. It cannot replace local knowledge or things you already know, obviously. As with any AI or any system like that, it cannot account for every microhabitat that might exist, and it can't guarantee anything. And the birds will always do their thing in their timing. But that doesn't mean you can't get one step closer to mastering this and gain some additional insight and understanding. So what I noticed last spring and fall is that this helped me stop wasting energy on the wrong days. And I wasn't chasing every maybe every morning. I wasn't second guessing obvious no days. I was making more intentional decisions. And when conditions lined up, I was ready. And that's a big win for us birders. And none of this replaces my experience and what I already know to be true for my area, obviously, but it does refine and accelerate it. And if you already understand migration, weather, and timing, this helps you put the pieces together faster as well. And if you're still learning, this could be a game changer for you. And it teaches you what to pay attention to and helps you to better start understanding these patterns. And if you went out and birding sucked and ChatGPT got it wrong, go back and ask it what we missed. Like, hey, you said it was going to be a good birding day today. What happened? What did we miss? You'll still learn something. So either way, it makes you a more thoughtful birder. And there could just be some insight, or maybe something changed unexpectedly in the weather or the wind patterns that day. Because just like the weather, they can predict it with a certain percentage of probability and accuracy, but it's never 100%, obviously. We still plan our day based on what we know for our area, but it still gives us some key insight. Look at this as exactly the same kind of thing. And if you've never used AI before, start simple. Ask first about conditions. I provided some prompts below in the description that you can start off with. And once you start figuring this thing out, start refining it to exactly what you want and what you want to know. And if you're in a completely different region than the Keys, that's even better, because I'm genuinely curious how this works in different landscapes. And birding will always have surprises. So this just helps you show up on the right days. So let me know in the comments if you give this a try and how it worked for you. Was it accurate in your area? Was it not accurate? Was it 90%? Was it 50%? Was it 10%? I want to know. But I'm definitely going to be using it again this spring migration because I really want to get this weather pattern thing right, because I do have some knowledge there, and the more we can learn and understand, the better birders we become.